St. Matthew's Lutheran Church, located in Hanover, Pennsylvania, is home to the 8th largest pipe organ in the world. In 1924, the Austin Organ Company installed St. Matthew's initial pipe organ, containing approximately 5,000 pipes.
Hi, I'm Scott Fredericks, the Minister of Music here at St. Matthew. It's an honor to have you with us and to share this wonderful instrument, the mighty Austin pipe organ we have here at St. Matthew, a great blessing to our church. I've had the pleasure of being the Minister of Music here for a number of years and thrilled that we were able to start a renovation project with this organ. That's been about 5 years in the making. We have maybe a year to 2 years before it's complete, but much of the organ is working today, so we'll share a little bit of that with you.
The initial instrument was a donation from a member of the church, Mrs. Clara Gladfelder Mall. She worked closely with J. Herbert Springer, the organist for the church at the time, to increase the size of the instrument and to offer more colors to inspire worship. Everything Mr. Springer dreamed, Clara financed until the organ grew to what it is today. As each organist has had ideas for a wider palette of colors and a larger depth of sounds, the church has had to find space to accommodate the instrument. The current organ has 14,341 pipes, which range from 32 feet in length down to the size of a pinky finger. Pipe organs require a separate pipe for each note on the keyboard and for each separate stop. The Austin organ has 231 ranks of pipes to make up its various palettes of colors. The total number of pipes after renovation is complete will be well beyond the current 14,341.
The St. Matthew organ is very much like the Wanamaker organ, very orchestral in its nature, beautiful colors, 70 ranks of strings. It's just a phenomenal instrument. I'll share just a little bit of some of the colors that this organ is really quite famous for and that I hope moves people's hearts as they worship. This organ can do a number of different sounds. From more of the English school, you'd have the diapasons. Then, of course, you can have that with an octave above. Typical organ sound, really. Now we can turn that into a full orchestra. Or I can do it on the trumpets for Easter morning. That's air going through a pipe. You get the idea, really. It's quite a lush sound. Some people think, oh, organs are so stark and so harsh. This has just, it sounds like cellos and violins and flutes. It's just such a beautiful sound. The main blower downstairs in the basement looks like a huge airplane turbine. Then the other three blowers are for the upstairs in the church tower that send air to all the pipe sections. Then this is the computer that will be able to control all of the combination action, they call it, and tells me what's going on, the transposer and crescendo pedals, the different parts. So you can get that out of your way so you can swing in and out. The Carillon system here at the St. Matthew organ is made by the Masro Company in California, a wonderful system equivalent to 198 bells hanging in the church tower as if it were. I have large bells like you would have in a tower, and I also have some very small harp and celeste bells. I can use them in the front of the church, the back of the church, with the organ, just outside. I have played into the computer memory, which is featured here at this right side of the console. I played a number of songs for all seasons into its memory, so now I can just hit a button and it'll play 5, 6, whatever I tell it to, songs at 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock every day. Outside, all the seasonal music, if you go past St. Matthew, we have a number of people who have been attracted to our church by hearing the songs outside. and those play as I desire, however many I want. I schedule it to play Advent, Christmas, Epiphany, General, Lent, Easter. I can switch it over to patriotic, I can switch it to classical music, all that I have stored in the memory. So it's a wonderful feature that can be used with the organ or alone. One of the great times of year to use the carillon system is, of course, Christmas. Part of our Lutheran liturgy here, we use a hymn of praise, and during the weeks of Christmas, I use something that I know people always enjoy singing. I can also use the Zimbelstern, the small bells that go up around in a circle, and they tinkle.
Starting about 5 years ago, the organ required more attention due to significant wear and tear. Some of the old pipes had begun to crush in on themselves. Miles and miles of old wiring, still covered in cotton, needed replacing for safety reasons. When funding for the renovations was needed, the members of the church, old and young, stepped in to make a lasting contribution.
One of the great things about St. Matthew is when we do things, we do them very well, so that's lasting. When I brought the proposal to the church council and then on to the church for the renovation of this large instrument, it was overwhelming. I thought, I don't know that this is actually going to happen. I should have known better. St. Matthew for 270 years has been able to take the ministry into the community. Obviously we have a beautiful facility, but beyond that we have ministry across the world. And it was time to do something with this organ that has brought people to this church and has caused people to go out into the mission field as they've been stirred to worship and stirred to serve. And I brought this before the congregation, and as they've done so faithfully for so many years, they met the challenge. This church was able to undergo $1.3 million in pledges and donations, and some from the community as well, which we greatly appreciated, to make this project possible. The renovation, we probably have worked 5 years on it already, from putting on paper to getting where we are today. Probably another year, year and a half to 2 till it's totally done. There's, as we said, 14,000 pipes, so there's a lot of work to do. There was some water damage in chambers, so that work needs to be new walls put in, all new electric pulled. So the congregation had a lot to take in, and they took it to prayer, they took it to heart, and then they took it to their wallets, and I'm so thankful that they have made this great blessing to us from the 1920s, be able to move for another 100 years. We'll minister and beyond that. So that for all of you, I greatly appreciate everything you have done to make this renovation possible in a world that sometimes says impossible. The St. Matthew people said we can do it. Thank you.
As of this time, the organ is not complete. When it is complete, it will boast the ability to have over 1 million combination of sounds, some of which the church has yet to experiment with. You can experience this instrument live in January at Music in the Valley, an event held each year by J.W. Pepper, Hal Leonard, and Shawnee Publications. The St. Matthew organ is truly a music treasure that should be experienced by everyone.